Hey guys, it's Rockstar247 here, and I'm going to teach you how to make the regular pig from the Angry Adventures series or Angry Birds. Alright, so the first thing you'll need is my pattern. It says Pig Plush pattern. This is on my DeviantArt, so the link will be in the description for that. So go there, print that pattern off, and you're good. Alright, next up, we're going to have some fleece or felt. That's black right there. And we're going to need some brown, some black, some white, and we're going to need some green as well. So, those you can buy basically anywhere like Walmart, Target. You can use felt or fleece or any other material you want, but I'm going to be using fleece for this tutorial. Alright, next up, we're going to need some stuffing. So, a big bag of stuffing. So, get that. Then we're going to need some needles, and we're going to need some thread. Now, I'm going to be using black and white thread, just because those are like the two main colors, but if you want as well, you can use green. I don't really care, but it's your plush. You can choose what you want to use and what you don't want to use. Alright, we're gonna also need some scissors for cutting out the pattern and cutting into the material. You can use felt scissors, those work the best. And then we're gonna need a glue gun. Now, you don't have to use a glue gun, but I'm going to. So if you don't want to use a glue gun on the parts that I do use a glue gun, then you can just sew it up, but I'm going to use the glue gun, so, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Alright, so, let's start with the tutorial. Alright, so we're going to start with the pattern. So, as you can see on this section, it says required. So if you want to make the pig plush, you're going to have to cut out all these pieces to make it. And then down here it says optional. Now the optional piece, in this video I'm going to be making a pig with glasses. So I cut out the pattern for glasses, but you don't have to cut out the pattern for glasses if you don't want to. But so it says green on there, which could be color-coded if you printed it off in color. But notice that it says ×2 on there, so you have to cut out 2 of these in your material. So, since this is the body, I have to cut out 2 of these. So that's why you have to make sure you have enough material to cut out all of these pieces if they're, ×1 or ×2. So I'm going to start doing that. You cut off, or you cut along the black line, like that, around. Then you just trim that white section off, and then you have your body, and then you cut out 2 of these in the fleece. I'll be back when I'm done doing that. Alright guys, I almost forgot that if you see the nostril part, it says or, so you can cut out either one. So you can have a skinny one, or you can have a little bigger one. Whichever one you choose, that's fine. But it really doesn't matter. Also, you guys, while you're cutting out your pattern, you can, if you want to, you can use pins, but I don't use pins. I personally don't use pins, so if you don't want to use pins, then that's fine, but if you want to, then go right ahead. Alright, so I'm all done, and as you can see, I've cut out everything, and as it says on here, it says ×2, so if I lift that up, there's 2 of them, 2 pieces. Same with the ear, ×2, 2 pieces. So the ones that say ×1, like the nose or the mouth, there's only 1. So now let's get into the sewing part. Alright, you guys, before we can start sewing, as you can see, the body is a square or a rectangle. And pigs are not squares or rectangles. So we actually have to trim some of this stuff off, like this. Just kind of have to make a big loop. Not loop, kind of like a arch type thing. Like that. So now it's like an arch. So then what you have to do is, if you take your needle, this needle, you have to sew from there, right there, all the way around to there, on that corner. So this bottom part right here is left open. Alright? Alright, so I'm all done with that. As you can see, I sewed it up. Now, you flip it inside out like that. And it becomes something like that. Alright? So, now as you can see, the bottom is open. What we have to do is we are going to stuff this thing. We are going to stuff it. So I'll be right back once it's stuffed. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm stuffing it right now. And you have to stuff it pretty tightly. You don't want to make it look like it's lacking some stuffing. So, we're stuffing it a lot. Like, just pack stuffing in there. That's basically the goal. Don't, if you think it's enough, just make sure, and then, like, once it's all poofed up, then that's good. Alright, so, now that's stuffed, we are going to use our needle and thread, right here, to sew up the bottom. Now, we are going to do something that requires a lot of patience. Alright, so it's going to look kind of bad at the start, but it'll look good in the end. Alright, you guys, so once you have it started right there, you have to jump. So my thread is right there. You have to jump from one side to the other. So you just kind of hop over like this. Then you pull it like that, and it's going to come through. But don't pull it really hard. Alright, and then you just kind of do it in a ton of different places. So now I'm doing it like right there. You pull, and then those two should connect. You're just kind of going around the outer ring and just connecting them. Like I said, it's going to look kind of bad at the start, but it should look good in the end. So we have there, then we'll go to the totally opposite side. And do that. See? It's sewing up. Now, don't pull really hard because your thread can break. Just kind of leapfrog it around like that. If there's stuffing coming out, just push it back in, and then it kind of sews up like that. Now these little things out here we'll fix later, but just pull it in like that, and then just try to put your thread in places where there isn't where you haven't threaded before. But you always kind of want to hop to the opposite side of the plush. So I'll be back when this is done. Alright you guys, I'm nearing the end, so it's pretty close. But if you look really closely, there's some bumps around it. What you have to do to get rid of those is you just sew right on the top of it and pull it through. And then you just sew it to the other side, and the bump should go away where you're sewing it up. Alright? So I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so now that it's about done, we've sewed it all up. If there's these wrinkles, that's good. That's fine if there's the wrinkles, because then if you set it down, it stands up. Those wrinkles actually kind of provide a balance spot for the pig. So then once you're done, you just sew it off. You can either do the knot way, or you can just kind of go in a bunch of times, and then you don't have to do a knot like this. So I'm going through like that once, and I'm going in the same spot again. You do that about 3 to 5 times, and it'll provide a sturdy ending. Alright, and then once you're done, you just simply grab your scissors, cut it off. Alright, so then you have your pig, your finished pig. Here you go. No, kidding. So once that's done, you will start on adding details to it, like the nose and the eyes, but we're going to start with the nose. Alright, so I'll be back to introduce the nose. Alright, you guys, for the nose, you will need 3 pieces. And I got this lantern so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so you need the green side of the nose times 1 piece. You need the regular nose piece. It says times 1 on there. And then you're going to need the lip, which is that piece. It says times 1 on it. Alright, so for the nose, what we're going to start off doing is we're going to take the side of the nose, we're going to turn it like that into a circle. Okay, and then in the end, this nose piece will fit perfectly right in there, like that. Then we'll flip it inside out and stick it on this pig. But what you have to do is you take your needle and you start off sewing right there, and then once you've sewn that on, you curl it like that, and then you sew it on there. You can use whatever stitch you want. You can probably use the blanket stitch for this one, but doesn't matter to me. You just sew it around there, and then if it comes to a complete stop, just kind of sew the corner to whatever spot it's in. Alright, so I'll be back when I'm done doing that. Alright, you guys, so I'm done doing that piece. As you can see, it's sewed all around the edge to this piece. Now, as you can see, this piece is open. So what we have to do is we have to take our scissors and trim the extra right off. And then you have this. So what we're going to do with this is we're just going to sew along there and then flip it inside out. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, you guys, so I'm done with that. Sewed up the side. So now what we can do with this is we can just turn it right out, like that. Now, what we have to do before we can start using the glue gun is we take this pig, we stick the nose on there like that, so that it's like 3D nose. So what you have to do for this is make sure the seam that you sewed up is pointing down like that. And then you take your needle and you just sew right on there. Probably use the ladder stitch, and then I'll be back when I'm done. Alright, you guys, so if you are at this point, which is just the bottom right here, you gotta take your lip piece, which is right here, and you are actually going to sew it in with that. So as you're doing your ladder stitch, so you go through the lip. You don't ladder stitch through the lip, but you just poke through the lip like that. You don't ladder stitch it, you just poke through it. And then you ladder stitch on the body like this. And then the lip will be sewn in with that. So then you're going to be sewing 3 things together, which is the nose, the lip, and the body. So I'll be back when I'm done with that. Alright, you guys, so if you're nearing the end of it, make sure that you open that up and stuff it. Alright, so I'll be back when that's done. Alright, you guys, so if you're done with that, it should look like this. The pig and his little lip as well. So this part is going to be about attaching the ears. Now, this is going to be the exact same way as you attach the lip to the nose and the body. So what you're going to do is you're going to start it off like this. I'm starting it off, and after you've started it off a couple times, like maybe 3 or 4 stitches will make a good start off. And then once you start it off like that, then you take the ear and put it up there. You do the exact same thing. You take it, you kind of pierce the ear like that. See, strings coming through there. And it's connected. But then what you do is you do a ladder stitch on the other side. I'll be back when it's done. Alright, you guys, so now that you've sewn in that ear, you take your scissors and cut off the thread like that. So then you have your other ear right here. So then you're going to sew that one on the exact same way you sewed that one on. So do that. I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Alright, you guys, so now that that's done, your pig should look like this. The snout, the lips, or the mouth, and the ears should all be done. Now what we're going to do is we are going to we are actually going to glue on the rest of the pieces except for the glasses. So if you are doing the glasses, that's great. We will do that after the pig is actually done, but just save those pieces for now, alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the nostril piece, the inner ear piece, the outer eye piece, and the inner eye, or the pupil piece. Alright? And we're going to glue those on. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, you guys, so we actually will need the lens and the frame of the glasses. Do not get the temples of the glasses because those will actually be sewn, not glued. So we are actually going to start out on the pig by gluing on his nostrils, and those will actually look something like that. Now obviously you can see that mine are too big, so what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get our scissors and then we'll trim it. Alright, so I'm just waiting for the glue gun to heat up, but I will be back in a little bit. Alright you guys, so I already glued my nostrils on, but the next part we will have to do is we will have to glue the inner ears on. So you basically just glue those on the inside of the ear, like that, and if they don't fit, then you basically just trim them. I'll be back when it's done. Alright you guys, so I just sewed on the inner ears, or glued on I mean. So I glued those on. So now all we have to do is put on the eyes. Now the eyes are fairly easy. All you have to do is glue those on like that. You can glue them on any position you want. You can glue them up, you can glue them down, you can glue them right in the middle. I don't really care, but for me, I always like to do them down like that. So that's the way I'm going to glue them. And then after you glue the black to the white, all you have to do is glue the eyes on to the pig. Now, I don't know if I want him having that big of eyes, but if they're too big, obviously trim it, and then I'll be back when that's done. Alright guys, this is your finished pig. It is all done. So for the people who did not cut out the glasses, you are finished. You are officially done. So this is the pig pattern. Leave a like on the video. Ask questions in the comments if you need. And so that's done. For people who did cut out the glasses, we are going to continue. Alright, so we're going to get the frame and the lens. And what you're going to do is you're going to spread them out like that. Then you're going to put the lens inside of the frame. Now, as you can see, they're way too big. Like the inner ear and the nostrils, we have to trim them. So after you trim them, then you basically glue the white on the black like this, and then just hold tight until then, because then that's when we will do the temples. Alright? I'll be back when it's done. Alright you guys, so for the people who cut out the glasses, notice that I did not glue it to the pig, I just glued the white to the black. Now, what you have to do is you grab your pig, replace the eyes, just set them on there, and then you have to cut out a small little rectangle like this that fits between the two. Now if it's a little long, you just trim it until it's just the right length for separating the frames. And the final thing we will do after that is attach these temples to the ends, and then those will be the end of the glasses. Alright? So for now, just cut out one of these, a small little rectangle, and sew it up between those two frames. I'll be back when it's done. Alright you guys, so I'm all done with that. It's on and it's ready to go. Now all I need to do is sew these temples on. So basically what you have to do for that is you take the side without the end that sticks out, and sew it right on there. I'll be back when you do it to that side and to that side. Alright you guys, I am all done. So, here we go. The glasses are on the pig. So if you want to, in the back here, you can just sew those on if you want. I'm not going to do that because I like the pig to take his glasses on and off. But that is the pig pattern with or without glasses. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And otherwise, have a nice day. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. And there will be a picture of this pig on my DeviantArt with and without the glasses on, so that you can see the finished product. Alright, so see you later.